Hello, welcome to Local Anesthetic Podcast, your regular injection of strange, weird, bizarre, sinister, just plain odd news from around the world, and of course sourced locally, as is the tradition. It is called Local Anesthetic, although we have had to cast our net wider, of course, over recent years due to the death of local journalism. Rob, being joined by Rob as always. How you doing there, mate? I mean, I'm on the mend. We were just talking about this, but Rob is still a little unwell. We're recording at 8 in the morning.
Yeah, it's another early record. I mean, the first thing you did, Alex, when we turned the Zoom call on was the fact you said you look rough. So thank you for that. I appreciate that. No, I do you know what, I'm okay. It's just a lingering cold that I just can't seem to shift. It seems to sort of convalesce and then come back with a vengeance. But apart from that, I'm fine. It hasn't really sort of had massive impact. You know, just a cold. It's not, it hasn't laid me low in any way.
Okay, good. News, Rob, before we get on with this episode. I've got some. Have you got any?
I also have some as well.
Who wants to start? Do you want to start?
No, Alex, I always start with the news, so you go ahead.
Okay, so I heard from Steve.
Oh, right, okay.
Recently, and as you know, Steve, as well as being many other things, is also our roving Eagle Heights correspondent.
Yeah.
And he sent me a job that has actually expired, so I believe it must have been taken. Presumably they found a successful candidate.
Right.
It was from the Eagle Heights Wildlife Foundation in Ainsford for a kennel worker, and I just thought you'd like to hear it. Just so you can get a flavour of the kind of thing they're looking for.
Right.
So the benefits, by the way, of the job, Rob, are company events, discounted or free food, employee discount, free parking.
Sorry. I don't know why discounted or free food. Are they talking dog biscuits or?
Yeah, exactly. So in the job description, it says, Rob, we're currently seeking a hardworking and passionate individual to join our family-run organisation. Our dedicated sled dog kennel is currently home to Siberian Huskies, Alaskan Malamutes, and Alaskan Huskies, many of which are rescues or have been abandoned. We are also open to the general public and offer experiences with the Huskies. You know, get your face bitten off by a Husky, that kind of thing.
Yep.
This position is 3 days a week, which will mainly consist of weekdays. Our new team member must be serious about becoming a permanent part of the team with a genuine passion for dogs and will take great pride in caring for them to the best of their ability. Daily duties include, but are not limited to, Rob, cleaning kennels, visually checking each dog. So just to look at it, Rob.
Yeah? Look at it, make sure it's down. It looks broadly fine.
It looks like a dog. It's a dog. Because you want to make sure you're not mixing them up with the cheaters.
Yeah.
Record keeping.
Right.
Medication administration. Feeding. Enrichment. So, teaching it, I don't know, the works of Joyce or something.
No, I mean, I think it's more like putting an episode of The Office on, that kind of thing.
Oh, okay. Maintenance of kennels and exercise area. Grooming, not sexual.
Yep. Yep. Sure.
Interacting with visitors.
Right.
Leading visitor experience. Applicants must have at least 2 years previous experience working with animals, preferably larger animals or dogs. They must be well presented, smart, professional. They must have good communication. They must implement good time management. They must be friendly and approachable to visitors, show empathy and respect to the animals, have a strong passion for the environment and animal welfare, hold a full UK driving licence due to our rural location, this is essential, right, and be physically fit. And there's a kind of a disclaimer, this job is not suitable for anybody looking for a stopgap, in quotes, or to earn extra cash.
Sorry, I get the impression that a lot of people go for jobs at Eagle Heights. So, give the excuse, yeah, I don't really need this job. This is just more of a stopgap until something better comes along.
Rob, our animals need reliability and consistency and will bond with you over time. Change is upsetting to them. This is a physically demanding role that is based in the great outdoors. You need to be prepared to work hard in all weathers. This breed is known to be strong. You need to be able to confidently walk a big, strong job. Salary? It's not bad. It's £10.42 per hour. Expected hours, 21 per week. I've told you the benefits. And yeah, that's it. The application deadline was the 8th of November, Rob. So we are, unfortunately, on the day that we are recording, we are past that.
I mean, Alex, let's be honest. Basically, they just want someone to clear dog shit out of the kennels, right?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So, Rob, you've also got some news for us.
Yeah, so I was sent this by Face the Strange, and he basically referred to it as the new John Mooner. So you may or may not be aware of this, Alex, but there is a new documentary coming out, which I think may be of interest to you. So it's called Love and Saucers. It's available on all the major streaming platforms. I can't quite work out. Well, apparently so. It's on Amazon, it's on Apple, it's on Google, it's on YouTube, which makes you think that why would you bother to pay for? If you're paying for the others, you just go for YouTube and go for the free version. But would you like to hear the short bio of what the film's about?
Yes.
I wonder if I should put a voice on for this. Maybe I should. David Huggins lost his virginity to an alien woman among 100 other ET encounters and chronicled it in all surreal paintings, few of which have been seen before. This documentary is his story. So yeah, if anyone is interested, Love and the Saucers is available, and it's the real life story of David Huggins, who, as the synopsis said, lost his virginity to an alien, and then apparently chronicled it in a series of paintings.
So is this documentary a film or is it a series?
That's a good question. I'm not sure.
What if we were to do a little special bit on the episodes? Is this documentary out?
Yes, I believe so. Yeah.
What if we both committed to watching the documentary, and we could do a little slot where we talk about the main revelations? I don't know.
Oh, I'd love that.
Let me look at what's it called, Rob? What's it called?
Love and Saucers.
Love and Saucers. Great title. Yeah, Love and Saucers. Rob, look, we can watch it because it's a film and it's only an hour.
It's also not new. It came out in 2017.
It's 2017.
Oh, you do have to pay for it. Yeah, I just assumed it was free, but no, you do have to pay for it.
No, fuck that then.
Okay, fair enough. So is it, Alex? It's got its own website.
Hang on. Yeah, God, I'm looking at some of the paintings now. Rob, they look like they should be on a Radiohead album. They are bloody disturbing. Oh, my sweet Lord.
I think we need to use our listeners' very kind donations to watch this. I feel we'd be doing them a disservice if we didn't do that.
Okay, if one of us finds the cheapest version, then we both sort of are able to log into it. Because it looks to me like the cheapest version is... Or do you know what? I'll have a look, see if I can find it, Rob, somewhere.
I know what you mean, Alex. Yes, yeah. See if you can find it on one of your sites.
I don't know what you're talking about, Rob. Rob, can I just ask you just to put in Love and Saucers and just look at some of the images? Just please. I need you to do this.
I've seen the image of him in the forest with the lady straddling him.
Rob, you need to talk about the nature of it. They look like people with masks. It looks like something from my... I mean, it's very disturbing, no?
It is quite,
He drew these. Quite. These are the most horrific... they're actually pretty good as well, I just would like to say. But
it looks like she's wearing the V for Vendetta mask, Alex.
Yeah, a bit. Okay. Do you know what? I don't think we should dismiss this man out of hand.
Right.
Okay, we're going to watch Love and Saucers. Right. Are you done there, Rob? Can I?
Yes. Yeah.
I've got a very important update, Rob. Do you remember a while ago I covered a story about wildlife fanatic Chris Packham being somebody making a police complaint about the fact that he had sniffed a goshawk on air?
Yeah, on the One Show, I believe.
Okay, that is very well remembered, Rob. I mean, extra credit there.
Thank you.
This is from the Times of London. It is from the 29th of October. It is by their legal editor, Jonathan Ames.
Jonathan Ames?
Yeah, presumably that's Alan Ames' brother, works for the Times. Police drop Chris Packham goshawk chick sniff complaint. Can I just say, Rob, Chris Packham goshawk chick sniff complaint. That's the episode title, just in the bag.
Without a doubt, that's nailed on. I don't even have to do anything with that.
Police have dropped an investigation into allegations that Chris Packham broke the law when he sniffed goshawk chicks on the BBC. Now, we did have to clarify last time. This wasn't somebody making a complaint that they thought he was doing something kind of inappropriate in some sort of sexual way. There was It's a breach of the Wildlife Countryside Act to interfere with a protected species. But I've got the picture of him, by the way, sniffing. He's holding it, Rob, up to his face, and he's taking a deep whiff.
One thing we didn't clarify at the time.
And can I just say that the goshawk sort of turning away, like, "Oh, mate, you know."
So was this an actual egg? It wasn't like had the chick hatched out of it? Do we know?
Yeah. He's holding the chick. Yeah, and he's taking a deep whiff into it, Rob. And the chick's sort of turning away, looking a bit uncomfortable. You know, personally, Rob, I think once again the police have made a mistake here. They should have launched, Rob, Operation Goshawk.
Yes, missed opportunity without a doubt.
Packham, 62, had been celebrating the return of goshawks, a bird of prey, to breed. He was filmed with 3 chicks on the One show. After the BBC One programme was broadcast in the summer, Hampshire police received a complaint from an amateur shooting enthusiast who questioned whether the producers were licensed to disturb rare species. The man, who did not wish to be identified, Rob, because you don't want to go, you know, he's treading in some dark waters there.
Can I just, sorry,
yeah.
An amateur shooting enthusiast? What?
Yeah.
What, he was upset that you couldn't kill them?
Yeah. And also, isn't an amateur shooting enthusiast sort of like a criminal?
Yeah. I mean, you kind of say, you know, an amateur gun collector. Again, criminal.
Yeah, exactly. So the man, who did not wish to be identified, said licenses were in place for the welfare of birds for a very good reason. Packham was potentially disturbing the birds, he added. The presenter had told viewers he was smelling the chick to experience its, in quotes, characteristic scent.
I mean, let's be honest, that is a bit weird.
BBC executives were understood to believe that Packham was helping to ring, measure and weigh the chicks under trained supervision. The corporation's position was that it did not interrupt or delay the professional's work. What the worry is, Rob, is are we going to get a kind of string of other goshawks coming out with the same story? Mr. Packham, I am kidding.
Yeah, the BBC have to be so careful these days. It's a legal minefield, Alex.
Yeah, it is. A spokesman for Hampshire Police said at the weekend officers had seen the film and no criminal offence was identified. The spokesman, you know why, Rob? Because the police are all in on it as well, with their secret goshawk sniffing ring.
I just imagine that,
when I say ring, I mean like a club. I don't mean they're sniffing the goshawks.
Well, I just imagine all these police officers crammed into this really small interview rooms watching this clip of the One show. You know, Dave, that's not illegal. I mean, it's a bit weird, Dave, but it's not illegal, is it?
The goshawk used to be common in England, Rob, and features in the writings of Chaucer and Shakespeare.
Not relevant.
Yeah. Packham lives in the New Forest, where a conservation programme has increased the number of pairs from 1 in 2022 to 45. Well, I guess that's progress. Goshawks may be removed from their nests for scientific and conservation purposes. The ringer on the BBC programme was operating under a permit from the British Trust for Ornithology. Packham, who presents Spring Watch, Autumn Watch and Winter Watch on the BBC, has become a polarising figure with his support for the environmental groups Just Stop Oil and Extinction Rebellion. Yeah, so basically, Rob, he's a
lefty.
Well, you know, one of those people that myself and Suella Braverman, if she's still in post at the time of recording, would like out of this country. He's also an outspoken opponent of hunting and a criticised grouse shooting. Come on, Chris. Can I just say, right, Rob, the thing that stands out to me there is he presents Spring Watch, Autumn Watch, Winter Watch. Is there no Summer Watch? Does somebody else present it? Was he not deemed fit? What's that about? Is there a Summer Watch?
I'm so glad I had exactly the same thought process. Oh, come on, mate. You've done 3. Where's the other one? You lazy bastard. Stop smelling birds and get on the TV.
Okay. Derek P. Smith says, Alexa, show me an example of wasting police time. Sorry, anybody, if I've just set off your Alexa, but Jay Harding says, how much public money has been wasted on this? Meanwhile, shoplifting runs riot.
And is he doing himself? Is that what you're saying? He's just getting away with it?
No. And Alicia Reynolds says, Chris Packham or an amateur shooting enthusiast, which one cares more about wildlife? I wonder.
Good point.
That's just a good point. Right, Rob, I have another update. I updated last week about the very sad story, Rob, and it was genuinely sad, about a man with quite severe mental health issues. The guy who had been...
Oh, yes.
Who said he was not the Somerset Gimp, if you remember.
I do.
But had been sort of dressing up in a similar fashion and scaring people, and he was really suffering with his mental health. You remember this?
I do, yes.
Okay. Well, Friday the 3rd of November 2023, Somerset Gimp banned from wearing a gimp suit in public and crawling, wriggling or writhing on the ground, in quotes, for 5 years. And it turns out it was the guy. It was.
Oh, it was the same guy?
Yeah, it was him, Rob.
Wow, okay. Oh, I mean, well done to the police for finally catching him. Although you really take away all his fun. Also, why 5 years particularly?
Well, let's get into the story. A man known as the Somerset Gimp has been banned from dressing in an all-black gimp suit in public at night and crawling, wriggling or writhing on the ground for 5 years. Given that's that specific, and I'm genuinely saying this, I'm not actually saying it to be like trite. Can he then, Rob, wear an all-red gimp suit in public? And can he just do other things apart from crawling, wriggling or writhing? No, but can he, though? Because it's very specific. So does it mean that other things are okay?
Yeah, that's.
Because I remember with the thing that you got, it didn't just say can't be seen in a honey monster outfit. It said wearing any sort of outfit of any mascot or anything similar, and it was very broad. It basically prevented you really from wearing any costume at all in public. Which
let's be honest, it didn't. I mean, because how are they going to know?
Rob,
once I'm in the costume,
don't legally impugn yourself.
Right? Yeah. So, Alex, going back to your original point, I'm assuming so. I mean, could he? And I mean, if he was just dressed in latex but just not have the mask on, because technically he could be imitating the video of Toxic by Britney Spears in the red sort of leather catsuit thing.
You obviously remember that very well, Rob. Okay.
I do, Alex. Yeah, I do.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Joshua Hunt, 30.
Hang on. Was that Toxic or was that?
Didn't know Rob was such a Britney fan.
Alex, don't wait. I'm getting caught up.
Joshua Hunt, 32, was issued with the sexual risk order after police linked him to 25 incidents across the country. The order prevents a self-employed gardener from wearing any type of mask or face covering in public unless for medical reasons. A district judge imposed the restrictions following a hearing at Bristol Magistrates Court just a week after Hunt was convicted of 2 offences of intentionally causing harassment. Last week's hearing heard how a man in an all-black gimp suit had terrified 2 female motorists in May this year in Bleedon, near Weston-super-Mare. It was the latest in a series of incidents, blah, 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 blah. We know the background. The court previously heard... So the evidence of earlier incidents, Rob, is based upon intelligence reports, and the latter reports is more specific. If we say the court is satisfied the intelligence of the earlier incidents were of a sexual nature and committed by the defendant, there is material within that bundle that relates to the sexual nature. Look, I'm not going to keep going on, Rob. I'm looking at a fucking picture from Avon and Somerset Police, presumably this guy's home, of a series of black, they're very disturbing, masks with sort of round cutouts with sort of white paint around the eyes and a very creepy smile. There are 4 of them, Rob, hanging on the wall. So, yeah.
Oh. Yeah, that's upsetting.
Peter
Alex,
Richardson.
I just need to say this. The red catsuit was actually from the video. Oops, I did it again. Of course, the Toxic video, she was wearing an air hostess outfit, just to make that clear to everyone. Hello?
Right. We are... Anyway, look, it's just a sad story, and I'm just updating you on it, Rob. Okay. Right, Rob, let's move to New York City.
Lovely. Let's do that. Together?
Shh. Yes, let's go to let's move to Manhattan. And Rob, this story is surely, look, if people aren't convinced, Rob, that we're living in the end times, or if they're not convinced that something happened at some point in history that sort of catapulted us into some kind of parallel universe where life is stranger than fiction, Rob, then this story should convince them. This is from Fox 5 New York.
Right.
I've seen it. It's been covered everywhere. This is a legitimate story. It is bizarre. By Alex Meir. NYC green slime. New Yorkers puzzled by sludge oozing onto city streets. Now, Rob, I have watched a video, Rob, of what I can describe as luminous green toxic slime coming out of the streets of New York.
Right.
And my mind immediately went to, I'm pretty sure it was Ghostbusters 2.
Yeah.
See,
that's
that is where the slime was. It literally looks like a scene from that movie. It's happening in Manhattan.
Do they have any idea what the fuck it is?
Yes. Now, New York, it looks like a scene straight out of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And yeah, I get that, but you've missed the Ghostbusters reference. I understand Ghostbusters 2 is not as popular as 1, but come on. Fluorescent green liquid oozing from manholes and sewers into New York City streets and sidewalks. This slime, or sludge as some have labelled the mystery liquid, was captured by Daniel Pantello this week in a viral Twitter post. Not calling it X. So there's literal green sludge bubbling up from the ground next to the World Trade Center right now, the caption read, which just makes it even more enigmatic, Rob.
It does.
People are walking through it casually. Sometimes a small group gathers around and stares at it. Can anybody explain this? Somebody wrote on Twitter, or are we just living in full-blown Gotham? Love it. This isn't the first time NYC's looked like the aftermath of a Spider-Man versus Green Goblin showdown. Gothamist reported when a similar goo infiltrated a Brooklyn subway station back in New York. My God, I'm now looking at a picture of Yellowstone National Park with a river made up of what looks like entirely of this green luminous. When I say it's luminous, Rob, it's like radioactive.
Right, okay.
Fortunately, the city didn't need to call Ghostbusters. Took you a while to get there. The likely source, think less radioactive and more proactive. A disclaimer on the original Twitter post reads, this is water full of green dye. Plumbers frequently use harmless fluorescent green dye to detect leaks in plumbing and sewage systems. According to the National Park Service, dye tracing is used to help scientists visualize how water moves from one place to the other. Despite the evidence, Pantello said he's not buying it. Contrary to the community note, he said, I think the sludge is radioactive ooze, source divine intuition. And he's obviously being sarcastic. But I mean, Rob, how do we know? I mean, they're saying that it's just so enigmatic. I'm looking, you know, like in New York, steam comes out through some of the manhole
through the vents. Yeah.
So if you imagine literal, like really bright radioactive green slime coming out with steam.
Alex, could it be that this is the first, or at least the catalyst for? We know in Futurama, for example. I mean, that's where I went to here, but there's obviously a sub-city in Futurama which is buried beneath the actual road surface, which has mutants living there.
Yes.
Is this how it starts?
I don't think mutant is a politically correct term anymore.
I mean, Alex, these are people like 3 arms and like 50 eyes. I mean, that's literally how they refer to them in the show. Okay. Yeah.
I'd like to, yeah. Thanks for your contribution, Rob. I'd like to move swiftly on.
Right. Sure.
Okay, Rob, you got a story for us there, my friend.
I do. I love this story. I only found it literally this morning. So it's from the Swindon Advertiser.
Sorry, just stop. Rob, I just had a moment there, a really nice, like I felt warm of reverie. Because I went back, 8, 9, 10 years to when we started doing this podcast. And it's just brought back memories of every week I would turn up, mainly with stories from the New Shopper, sometimes the Bournemouth Echo, and you routinely would talk about the Swindon Advertiser. And it feels like, Rob, it was a simpler, more innocent time.
You're right, Alex. And it was, many ways. I mean, the world was just a better place back then. I mean, I often go to the Swindon Advertiser, but many get news about Swindon, which at the moment is catastrophic. So this is by Zach Lewis.
Sorry, what does that mean?
Alan, did you not see what happened the other weekend?
Oh, do you mean the football team? I thought you meant the area.
Oh, no, no,
wiped off the face of the map.
Sorry, yeah, Swindon Town.
Oh, right. No, I don't know. Tell me what happened with Swindon Town.
We were 7-0 down to Aldershot Town in the FA Cup.
Within 10 minutes.
So by the 9th minute, we were 3-0 down. Completely true. And we managed to pull it back 7-4. But it was horrific. And now there's rumours that the club's up for sale again, and apparently players haven't been paid on time. And yeah, it's a real shit show at the moment. Anyway, let's not worry about that. Let's talk about an elderly couple. So
Rob has frozen, listeners. He's frozen, and he's frozen in quite a strange sort of posture. Sorry, Rob. Rob, I have to interrupt you. You had frozen for about 30 seconds. I was just informing the listeners, and you froze in quite a strange pose. So I was just updating them on that. It's nice to have you back.
Okay, Alex. So the headline is: elderly couple threatened to go to police over meal at Brewers Fair. Now,
did they see somebody sniffing a goshawk, Rob? Is that what happened? Or eating a goshawk, which I imagine would be a very severe offence.
Well, I imagine it would be. No, I would actually say it's probably more trivial than that. So Madeline and Michael Aldridge visited the Kembury Inn Brewers Fair on a trip to the town from Mansfield, where they were collecting items from the house of a friend that recently passed away. So we're very sad, Alex. They've come all the way down from Mansfield to Swindon and decided to go for a lovely meal at Brewers Fair. The Aldridges both ordered the chicken and ribs combo during their visit on October 25th, which included a half rack of ribs, a breast of chicken, chips, salad, and corn on the cob for £15.96.
Sorry. 15?
Yeah, 15. So yeah, actually, it's £15. Actually, 69. I'll mix those last two, but yeah, £15.69.
Just go through what they ordered because that seems incredible value for money. Can you read that out again?
So a half rack of ribs, breast of chicken, chips, salad, and corn on the cob.
That's incredible for that price. Where is this? Don't you think?
Sure. I mean, it's a Brewers Fair, so I mean, to give you an idea, Alex, we're talking like it's probably on a par with Harvester.
Yeah, but Harvester would be more expensive than that, Rob. You know.
Yeah, it might be, Alex.
You know, shall we go? Let's go there, Rob. It sounds delicious. Yeah.
Well, they're a chain, Alex. They're all around the country, so I imagine there's probably one close to you right now.
Are they? I doubt that. What's it called? Brewers Fair. I've never heard of this, Rob.
They're a pub. Basically, they're a pub chain. Yeah. Brewers,
right.
Brewers Fair. Let's put.
Right. Okay. I'm looking. Yeah. Friendly pub restaurants locations. Hang on. Okay. The nearest one to me. Yeah, you're right. There's one in. Well, okay. Bexley Heath. I mean,
so that's not far away.
So it's a bit like a Beefeater or a Harvester or a Toby Carvery or a Hungry
Exactly.
Horse.
That I would say that's probably their main competitors. Yeah. Anyway, Look. They say they informed the server that they were both allergic to chicken and therefore requested a full rack of ribs instead, and claimed their server said that was possible. However, when their food arrived...
So stop.
Right.
Allergic to chicken? Yes. No such allergy exists, Rob. There's no such thing as, I've got a chicken allergy. What the fuck?
The fact they were both said they were allergic to chicken,
what are the odds?
Just imagine that they met over a shared allergies chicken. And
right, let me look this up. Chicken allergy, because I don't want to feel like I'm a fool, but I've never heard. I've never heard of put chicken in bold in things. A chicken allergy is an adverse immune response after consuming chicken or its byproduct. The allergy is not very common, but it can cause uncomfortable symptoms in patients. So apparently there is such a thing, Rob, as a chicken allergy, and it can cause red hives like skin irritation, throat inflammation, swelling, swollen tongue, lips, nausea, all that.
So Alex, they both informed their server they're both allergic to chicken. I mean, it's just the odds of that happening is incredible. And their server said it was possible to replace that chicken with a full rack of ribs. However, when their food arrived, they were disappointed to only find half a rack of ribs with no chicken.
I'm circling back to the headline of this story, and I'm in my head trying to thread together. At some point, you're going to tell me this led to them calling the police.
Well, I think they threatened it. I don't think they actually did it. I think that's the whole point. So
right.
They said that the meal as a whole was of very poor quality, and the salad was missing.
Oh, so that's why it's cheap then. So I shouldn't be rushing to Brewers Fair for my cheap.
I wouldn't have said so.
Feast. So
just go back to it, Alex. So they said there's no chicken. So basically, what they have was half a rack of ribs and some corn.
Okay.
Madeline, 88, said, I hate people taking advantage of anyone, particularly senior citizens, and I hate that they have. We have been robbed. It is theft by stealth. I'm taking this to training standards. If nothing happens, then I will go to the police.
Well, the police ain't... I'm sorry. I'm going to tell you now. They're not going to do anything.
No. I mean, if anything, they'll just laugh in your face. Maybe not if they're senior citizens, to be fair. A spokesman for Brewers said the guest attempted to order an old menu item, a full rack of ribs, which we no longer serve. The alternative was the chicken rib combo, which the guest said she did not want the chicken. On being told she could purchase an extra rack of ribs for $4.99, the guest declined to pay. When the half rack of rib was served, at that point the guest said she wanted the whole rack of ribs and that she was allergic to the chicken, which she did not make the team aware of despite being warned when ordering. But Madeline and Michael dispute this account of events. In response to Brewers Fair, Michael 79 said, I'm very disappointed. Yeah. I am totally disgusted. Yeah. I was looking forward to a rack of ribs, and what I got was disgusting. Yeah. I won't say anything else, as I will lose my temper. End of story.
Rob. Oh, I love that. Rob, what a brilliant abrupt end to the story. Rob, I don't understand this. If the half rack of ribs was disgusting, why are you so insistent you wanted the full rack? Because presumably that would have been equally disgusting, just times 2. And why couldn't they order 2 half rack of ribs to have the equivalent of a full rack? Do you see what I mean? And I don't understand why the restaurant are also quibbling about this. Well,
I think what they were saying, because I imagine the full rack of ribs would probably be more than the cost of the original meal. That's what I'm thinking. Which is why the restaurant said you have to pay another $4.99 on top of that. But obviously, it's because there's chicken allergy, Alex, which again I'm not entirely sure is a thing. I have got comments, by the way.
Hang on a minute, I just told you it's a thing.
Oh yeah, that is the thing. Okay, fine. The thing is, I don't think they both had it because Madeline, I think, mentions it that he doesn't say it. I can't imagine they are both allergic to chicken. That would seem incredibly unlikely.
I think they just made it up on the spot. We can't have the chicken ribs. We're allergic.
They basically wanted a full rack of ribs, but didn't want to pay pay the price for it. So Manjal says, think you got ribbed off. Net Kirch in Twitter says, rack it in, will you? Very clever. There's 111 comments on this story, Alex.
And are they all puns? Rack off.
No, so
you've been ribbed.
Net Curtain Twitch comes back.
Ribs condoms.
Net Curtain Twitch comes back and says CNN and live at the scene. Blue 2 said, poor people, they will never visit Swindon again. It goes on like that, Alex. And then, the whole thing about people saying, oh, no. And I'll finish with this one, actually. Mogley says, the man of the chip shop didn't put vinegar on my chips. Lock him up.
Yeah. Okay, Rob, it's time for our listener story of the week. What have you got and who is it from?
So this is from Khyber. The story is from the 9th of November from the BBC News website. I don't know if there's a journalist by Shwari Val and Danny Fulbrook. The headline is, Luton's stolen house owner gets house back from squatters.
Okay. Yeah.
So, a man has managed to get his house back 2 years after it was sold without his knowledge. Which
this reminds me of that. You had this story like this last week in America. Do you remember?
I can honestly say no. What was that? Oh yes, sorry, the man who turned up at the house and then let himself in.
Yeah, and slept there and ate there and everything else, and the house was his. Yeah.
So the Reverend Michael Hall returned to his Luton home in June 2021 to discover it had been sold without his permission after his identity was stolen. Which isn't funny. I know it's not funny, but that would be horrific. He said justice has been done after his name was put back on the deed of his house by the land registry. However, Mr. Hall said he's now dealing with squatters who have moved into the property. So, Alex, let's just recap what's happened here. So, in 2021, this poor guy, this reverend, so this priest, has basically had his identity stolen, and they sold the house behind his back. Okay, he has just managed to get the house back in his name, so his name back on the deed to the property, but now for somehow he's having to deal with squatters in the same place. Which to me just seems irresponsible.
Yeah. Okay.
So Mr. Hall bought the property in 1990, but in August 2021, someone sold it for £131,000. Whilst working in North Wales, he was alerted by neighbours that someone was in his house and all the lights were on. Mr. Hall drove back to Luton and found a new owner carrying out building works.
Sorry. So he owned the house.
Yes.
Am I right? So, and he got a call that the lights were on, and he came back and somebody was in there doing building works to his home. Isn't that's illegal? I mean, that is.
No, that's what I'm saying. So this person had, I think, legitimately thought they bought the house because obviously his identity had been stolen and it had been sold without his knowledge.
Oh, it's right. So it actually had gone through. I didn't realise the thing had got. So
I believe
how could that happen? So, I understand his identity had been stolen, but something you think would have been sent to an email or his phone or his address that he would have been aware that a house purchase was going on.
Yeah, I mean, surely you must have had something. But then, I suppose the thing was, if he was obviously working down in Wales, so maybe he just wasn't at the property. So maybe the house was vacant. I don't know how long he's owned there for.
Did this person not come and visit? Yeah, did this person not come and visit the property? That's what doesn't make sense to me.
I don't know. No idea.
Because, do you see what I mean? But I mean, what a ruse. So I steal somebody's identity, and I just think as a quick way of getting cash, I just sell the house. But I just think most people who are going to buy a house want to see it first. Maybe they made up some excuse and they did a virtue. But again, how would you get pictures of it? It's extraordinary. I'd like to know more detail of this.
There is more. So I tried my key in the front door. It didn't work. And a man opened the front door to me. And the shock of seeing the house completely stripped of furniture, everything was out of the property. That is heartbreaking, Alex.
Okay, no, but it would feel like you were in one of those Hollywood movies, wouldn't it? Like where, oh my, like it would feel like, honestly, that would be so traumatic. It'd be like an out of body experience because you would think like I don't exist anymore. It is that, you know, like
it would be completely surreal. Yeah.
So am I on drugs? Is what I'd think.
And we're not alluding that this reverend was on drugs, by the way, to make that absolutely clear. BBC Radio 4 You and Yours programme detailed, obtain the driving licence used to impersonate Mr. Hall, details of a bank account set up in his name to receive the proceeds of the sale, and the phone records of a man claiming to be Mr. Hall instructing solicitors to sell the house. However, on Tuesday at 4:30 GPM, I don't know why it's so specific. Following 2 years of court battles, Mr. Hall said the justice has been done after his name was once again listed as the owner of the house on the land registry. You and Yours understands the person who bought the house.
So why did it take so long?
It shouldn't be that difficult.
How hard can it be to clear up?
No.
It's my fucking house.
Apparently, You and Yours understand the man who bought the house has been compensated by the land registry.
What? Oh, right, the guy who bought the house. Yeah. I mean, also, you've got to feel for him. Listen, we've got some really difficult news. You know this house that you think is yours and that you're decorating at the moment, you're moving your family into and everything. You bought this, it's a scam. And I mean, because he's got nowhere to live.
No, absolutely. However, like I said, it does take an even worse turn. Having gone through a battle in the courts to tell all and sundry that it is my house, that it was sold fraudulently, it is now borne fruit, said Mr. Hall. He told the BBC visiting the property on Friday with the builder to begin making plans for the house. When he arrived at the building, which he had not seen in 2 months, he noticed the rear window had been broken and the lock to the front door had been punched out. He believes squatters had moved in, the curtains were closed, lights were switched on, the boiler was in use. He estimates...
Oh God, this guy must have felt like, because he's a reverend, right? He must feel like Job. Yeah? Like, what next? And then he's going to be cursed with boils.
Well, Alex, if you live in Luton, that's the least you can expect.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
So he estimates that there's £60,000 worth
gonorrhea,
of damage to the property. Okay, right, yeah. So £60,000 worth of damage to the property.
Shit, that's bad.
Bedfordshire police had advised Mr. Hall to return to the courts and get an interim possession order, which will allow the police to arrest 2 individuals squatting in his property. When asked by the BBC Radio 4 You and Yours programme, Bedfordshire police said the man inside the house told officers they had a rental agreement. It is not known who the rental agreement is with.
Right, yeah.
But they don't know. That's the end of the story, by the way. So.
Oh, God, that is a classic guy, but that is absolutely brilliant. Poor bloke. Poor guy. I mean, he must have been on his knees thinking, what on earth?
You would feel like being tested, without a doubt. Yeah, first of all, you get your house stolen. And then second of all, you come back after managing to reclaim it and find you got squatters living there who apparently claim they're in a rental agreement with someone.
Okay. Well, on that note, Rob, we bring episode 416 to an end. Not necessarily a welcome end, but an end. And of course, if you go to our website, LAPodcast.net, you can download all of our previous episodes there. They're, of course, on all the podcast apps. But if you want to actually download them, not stream them, if you want to have a bank on your computer of every episode of LA Podcast, you know, in case there's some sort of nuclear apocalypse or World War III or something.
Sure.
You know, you want to. Well, they would keep you going, Rob. In
when you're scavenging in a post-apocalyptic wasteland, sure.
Yeah, you might find an old, like MP3 player. You remember those, Rob? Something like that. And you can sort of hook it up and listen to us, and listen to when life was at least more amusing than your current pitiful state. And if you are in that state, go to this. You need somewhere to live. Go to this guy's house. That's where everybody is.
True.
The Reverend. What was his name?
Michael.
Reverend Michael, and because he's a reverend, he will, of course. Yeah.
It's Reverend
I have
Paul,
to say, he should be a bit more. Given that he's a reverend, he should be letting these people. I mean, he's a bit hypocritical there, Rob, with the squatters. He's a bit no more room at the inn mentality, isn't he?
Yeah, that's a good point, Alex. I mean, also by look, I mean, this doesn't look like a vicarage. So is it?
Yeah.
Is this his second home?
Exactly.
Because if so, then I don't feel that's he's living a very Christian lifestyle, Alex.
Quite.
So in fact, he's probably in the wrong here.
Exactly. Yeah. Good point, Rob. You bastard.
Sure.
What I was saying, listen, I just want to put a call out to everybody. There's been a trend as the podcast has continued, which is understandable, that we put out a call to people to submit stories. And we now, I mean, look, we love getting the stories from Khyber. We love just getting stories. It's brilliant. But if you're listening to this podcast, we know we've got loads of listeners. Don't feel that you're in a competition with these sort of big heavyweights, these Manchester City types of Craig and Khyber and others. Do submit a story, because we will feature it. But not only that, we do actually have listener story specials, and we'll probably do one soon where we go through our inbox of lots of stories that have been submitted. So just send them through. So whoever you are, wherever you're listening, and especially if you're listening, I don't know, even in another country, we'd love to hear stories that you're sourcing from there that you just think we would like to cover. Please send them. Please leave us a review. Please subscribe. We're going to be back in a week's time with episode 416. God bless.
And keep it local.